If you want to learn how to crush forehands like this, then you're definitely going to want to watch this video all the way through. I'm my friend Brooks here, and he has an incredible drive. Obviously, it's tennis background, that definitely helps. But he's going to help you today, and we're both going to talk about how to efficiently make your forehand more powerful with more spin, so you're not going to want to miss it. All right. Crush.
Told you.
All right. One take, everybody. But we're going to talk about the drive in this video. And Brooks, there's a lot of stuff going on in your drive, ton of power, ton of accuracy and pace. What are let's go 3 main things you're thinking about, and then we'll break it down.
Yeah, so the biggest thing I'm looking to do when I hit this is incorporate my legs. That is the very first thing. So as soon as I see that ball coming towards me, I know I want to get low. Once I'm here, right, the second thing I'm focusing on is clearing my hips. So just like my serve, I'm going to clear this hip and bring this back one through. And then the third thing I'm really looking for is contact. So I know that if I contacts here, I'm not going to be happy. So I really want my contact kind of out by my front knee, right? Because now I know I'm hitting it out in front, which will help me also keep the ball a little lower. And which that leading out forward is just going to lead to this follow through.
Yeah. Okay. So really good. So legs, your hips, clearing the hips.
Yep.
Kind of like that serve video.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then, you know, your contact always out in front, and then your follow through. What grip are you using? Let's see here.
So I think I'm holding it here, and by the time I'm hitting it, I'm closing. So I'm kind of just past continental.
Yeah. So it's definitely Eastern, kind of between Eastern and semi maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So pretty extreme grip, and this helps you kind of close that paddle face.
Yep.
And get that spin. Okay. So for the setup, let's do 2 feeds again. All right. Let's just look at we're gonna look at your legs first.
Yeah.
And then I want to talk about that. All right. Okay. Okay. So for you, Brooks, it looks like you're more in a semi-open stance. And for those of you watching here, this would be like fully closed here. We talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
Perpendicular to the baseline right here. This would be fully open. You're kind of more here. Yeah. Like 45-degree angle. And I think this is good for best of both worlds. It allows you to kind of rotate your core, and it actually frees up that momentum as you're coming through.
And I really like semi-open just because it's really easier for me to bring this back hip through, right? Because if I'm here, I have to do so much more turning. So it's kind of just easier for me to bring this hip through. And I know that it's easier for me to contact out in front and still know I'm going to be confident enough to make this.
Really quick, if you're really enjoying this video, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out a ton. We really appreciate it. Also, we created this free video if you really want to improve topspin on your shots. Check it out in the link in the description or scan the QR code. Okay, yeah, so no, this is really good. So you're in the semi-open, and then from here, you're really focusing on, we talked about this too when we look at the slow-mo. Your backswing is actually not super big, but you know, a lot of your power is going to come from that really quick hip rotation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So let's just see 2 more, Gray. Okay. And we're going to focus on the hips here. Okay. Hips wise, is there anything that you're thinking of, or when you're working with players that, you know, to make it a little bit easier for them to engage that?
Yeah, so you know, I like to think of like other sports they play, and if you haven't played any sports, obviously you can still make it work. I like to put out targets in front. So let's say I have a target here, right?
Sure.
And what I'm trying to do is bring that person's hip lined up with that target.
Yeah.
So I really want this hip to be like straight aligned with your front hip.
Yeah.
Because now I'm going towards my target.
Yeah. No, it's really good. Okay. So, you know, just maybe focusing on just that little hip turn.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now the contact point, you talked about how you wanted to be like right around your left knee or a little bit more in front.
Yeah, just about left knee. And I know that for me, coming from a tennis background, that if I'm out in front, I'm going to be comfortable. And I know this allows my swing to already be going naturally through it and forward.
Yeah.
So I really like that spot for me. You can also go a little behind it or a little in front of it. And that also just allows the ball to stay a little lower over the net.
Yeah. Okay, and then lastly, the follow through.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. And you know what you're kind of thinking and looking at when we talk about that.
So I know if I have the correct hitting target point, so my front knee, my arm's just gonna naturally flow through. So I know I don't take this massive backswing, but even with my swing here, I have momentum coming forward already that if I just stop here, that ball's gonna hit the kitchen line on my side.
Yeah.
So with me coming already here, my arm is just gonna naturally flow through. And if I have to force that through, all I'm thinking of is trying to touch the back of my shoulder
Yeah.
with this part of the paddle right here.
Okay. So your follow through is ending really high up here.
A little higher, yeah.
Okay. So now let's talk about tension, because we got a lot of questions on this, on like grip pressure and also, you know, how stiff you are, or what your body feels like when you're actually hitting a really powerful drive like this.
Yeah. So I'm actually holding at like a 4, maybe 5. I like to hold loose. It allows my wrist to kind of just be relaxed. And I know that I'm just going to let my wrist be natural. So especially coming from this tennis background, it helps a ton. But yeah, really loose for me. Any tighter, and I just feel like I'm going to soar that ball out.
Okay. So being relaxed is key, not only in the grip, but just everywhere, right? From the shoulder down. It starts from your legs, and then he's just really letting it go. So let's do 2 more, Gray. Now I'm gonna hit a couple of my drives. Definitely not as fast, but Brooks is gonna look at it, and you know, after even just seeing his, there's a few adjustments that I would like to make. But here, I'll show Brooks here. Oh, just out. One more. That one was good.
I think we can make it harder.
Okay. All right. So my drives are pretty consistent, I would say. They're not the fastest, but consistency, that's how I like to hit them. But I would love to add some pace and power.
Absolutely.
Okay.
First thing I want to do, Jordan, so I want to open your stance just a little more. So with you're here, let's get this stance a little more open, allowing you to bring that hip through. And I want you to imagine just driving that hip forward, lining that up with your other hip.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna set up a little bit more like this.
Yes.
And you know, one thing I did notice, and this is a good tip for a lot of you viewers here, you really, you know, make sure your shoulders are turned here. So I'm gonna focus on that, and then initially I'm just gonna focus on like whipping this really quick.
Yes, I want you to be so aggressive with that back hip.
Okay. And then come through. All right. Yeah. So I'm not gonna worry about too much. Gray, if you can feed me a good ball there, I'm gonna try it. A little awkward. Let's try again.
Nice.
Okay. So I do feel more whippy.
Absolutely.
But obviously that ball is sailing way out.
Yeah.
Right. So I know that you know, I'm either leaning back or I have my paddle face open on contact.
I think one of the things I just saw there is maybe your back being here, right? So one thing that we really want to be doing is going towards our target. So with that open stance, bring that hip forward with your body. So going almost towards the court. So we can be here and step forward into it.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to try to focus on my finish, going more that way.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Oh, here we go again. Okay. One more.
That's money, Jordan.
Okay. Anything else?
I like that forehand right there.
Okay, so couple of things I'm kind of thinking here, because I'm still don't have control over it. I'm still spraying it a little bit. This is definitely a faster motion on my hips. So like on my last one, I think my backswing was much bigger, more elongated and things like that. But now, you know, after seeing yours, I'm keeping things, I guess, a little bit more compact, but quicker.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm focused on.
That's the key to my forehand, is I like to stay short and compact. And it's not necessarily a really long follow through, but it's definitely a longer follow through than my backswing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me see you hit 2 more.
Yeah.
Actually, here we go again. I want to see your momentum. Yeah. So your hips are that way, and at the very end, you're super balanced. Like your weight's going this way. I don't have, yeah, my tendency, I think even right now is to,
You can
when I do that,
you can almost imagine someone like right behind you just giving you a little push as you're hitting.
okay. So from here, boom. All right, let me do a couple more, Gray.
Just like a tiny shove. Yeah.
Okay. And again. Okay.
I like that one right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely a change. I do feel like more power.
You're definitely hitting it a lot harder.
Yeah. For those of you watching too, something that is, I think, a big tendency for me, maybe for you, as I'm trying to do this and swing harder, I tense up. Right. I think that's natural. So I'm trying my best to actually use my hips really quickly, but still trying to be relaxed here.
Lots of breathing.
Yeah.
So breathing through the ball is one of the things that I like to tell myself. So as I'm hitting, it's kind of like grunting, but I'm not making that loud, obnoxious sound that most tennis players make. I'm kind of just
No,
kind of
really
just
good.
breathing through the ball.
All right, Brooks, thanks for helping me out. Obviously, I have a lot of work to do on my forehand, but if you'd like to see a video on improving your backhand, we actually did that. So click on this video here or go in the description below.